us some weird like audio kickback for 1 minute.
I'm gonna mute that. Morning, everyone. For those of you who are in, I see that we have like the number keeps going up, so about 9 participants, and then it just keeps increasing.
So we'll just give it 1 second. I think we are good now, and our webinar is also streaming live on YouTube. So if you are joining us and you get spilled over into YouTube, that's just how Zoom maintains like 2 different rooms at once so that everybody can be here live with us.
Mm-hmm.
And I will share my screen. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, I see your screen.
So
let's
just jump into it. This is our agenda. If you are here with us, you are here for middle school coffee and conversations. Cheers, I'm drinking water.
I'm drinking coffee. No Danish, but maybe next time. But the coffee is here. There's definitely coffee here.
Perfect. So quick intros. A number of people wrote in and just asked us about our backgrounds and sort of our path to leadership and what we taught. So we'll share that with everyone. Questions and answers that came in from the document we shared yesterday. We'll show you the VA website, which relates to some of the questions, and then talk about our next time and date for coffee and conversations. So, Mr. Cashman, do you want to share about yourself?
Sure. So, Eli Cashman, I'm the dean here at the Virtual Academy, and I oversee all alternative programs at the district. Prior to this, I was at Agora High School. I was Dean of Student Support at Agora. And before that, I was at AC Stell. I was the intervention coordinator and the math teacher. I also worked in LA Unified for 11 years as a math and a science teacher. And I also taught English internationally for a few years. So that's a little bit of me.
Nice. And you're trilingual, aren't you?
Yeah, I speak 3 languages fluently, and I can stutter in 2 more.
It's pretty impressive. Stuttering and all. So I am Ashley Winter. I coordinate our virtual academy for LVUSD. I grew up in the district. I graduated from Calabasas High School and taught English at both AC Stell and Agora High School. From there, I moved into a position supporting new teachers, beginning teachers and their mentors. And then with the help of Mr. Ryan Gleason and all of our cabinet and board, we authored 3 credential programs. LVUSD was the first district in the state of California to author and implement 3 credential programs, helping new teachers and potential future and new administrators. So I ran those programs for a number of years before starting Virtual Academy this year. It's sort of my path to leadership, and my passions really lie in supporting and developing great educators to stay in education, because I think we need as many amazing teachers in classrooms and as many amazing administrators on campuses as possible to support students. So in terms of leadership, that's sort of where my heart lies. Okay, questions and answers. Let's dive into it. Mm-hmm. So again, this is all geared toward middle school families. So one person asked about ACERS not working. It was sort of a 2-part question. What do I do if the tech that I checked out is not working? And are students being docked in terms of teacher grading if my tech is not working, or if we have like an internet outage?
So so first, there's a website you should, you might want to write down. It's support.lvusd.org. And that basically takes you directly to our tech team, and they are super quick and responsive. So if anything doesn't work with the laptops, and it happens, just go and you can select what the issue is with your laptop, and they immediately give you an appointment so you can come in and just either swap it out or have it fixed. So as far as technology, that's one thing. And as far as grading, different teachers grade in different ways. That happens both in the virtual academy and on campus, even when we are physically on campus. So the requirement to be visible is something we do expect. We want teachers to ask for it. Sometimes there are exceptions, but generally they do expect it. And I know different teachers might have slightly different requirements, but they could require that. What was Ashley? Do you want to add more about the grading?
Yeah, if someone asked if there's like an internet outage, how do we handle that? And would we be like docked in terms of points in a teacher's class if we couldn't get on because of technology that was out of our control? I think for that one, it's important to note, like Mr. Cashman said, live and synchronous instruction is required. And of course, there are inevitably going to be moments that the internet's not working and that it is out of your control. So in those instances, you would want to communicate with your teacher first. If possible, if you can't access email or anything, you can always call us and we can contact the teacher on your behalf. And let them know that your internet's not working. And then your student would go to support period the next day to make up whatever was missed. And teachers know that it's going to happen. And so, of course, they will be flexible if and when it does. And also remember that live instruction is required and mandated as a part of our attendance that comes from the state, our attendance requirements. And so students do need to be present and in class during live instruction for all periods.
We had a parent who said, we didn't know that we were supposed to be on Zoom, and the student was absent for a few days. Because of it, can you just waive those absences? And the answer is no, we can't. This is illegal. The teachers would be committing fraud if they said a student was present when the student was not. So that Zoom instruction is. Now, of course, if the child is sick or something like that, we can excuse it, but it still has to show as an absence if the student was not physically or by video present. Let's talk about the next one. Need to travel, what's the process? So really interesting question now because classes are on Zoom, right? So the requirements are students need to be present via Zoom and complete the work. Teachers don't necessarily check where the student is. Are you at home? Are you at grandma's house? Where is grandma's house, right? We need the student to be present. Having said that, legally, of course, you need to reside within the district. Again, if you're visiting grandma, that's perfectly fine. But if you're traveling and it's an extended trip and for whatever reason, and you cannot, or a student cannot attend as a result, then at that point we have to fill out some independent study paperwork. There's a whole process for it. I'm not going to bore you with the details. There's quite a bit of legalities and technicalities of what qualifies, what doesn't qualify, things like that. But the bottom line is, if the student can be present on Zoom, fantastic. If travel requires or prevents the student from being able to be and participate in class, do let us know. You can email myself or you can email Veronica Esqueda, our office manager, and we can start that process.
Thank you. Related to sort of the first two. Someone said, I still can't find the attendance form. Can you please make it easy? And the answer is yes, and we have. And at the end of the presentation, we will go onto our website to show you exactly where the attendance forms are.
And I'm going to guess that question was submitted before yesterday, right? Because we just updated the website.
It was submitted yesterday, but we didn't push out that the website was updated, which is why we're doing it here. Exactly.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So we'll show you exactly where that is and how to find it. And then question number 4, someone wrote in 3 questions and it doesn't capture your contact information. So it's hard to know exactly who this was, but they had very specific questions related to the dual language program and changing a student's schedule to reflect different needs. And I would say in that case, your student's school counselor is the best person to support you there. Eli and I don't have backgrounds in school counseling and would never want to mislead you with the wrong information. So in this case, or in any case, if you have questions about your student's schedule, the school counselor is always your best first point of contact for that.
I realized I was muted when I was talking. So, and I'm going to say that if you can't, if you're not getting the answer or your question answered from the school counselor, please email us directly so this can, so we can address it.
Oh, to the person who asked this question.
Yeah, because I think that person just wrote something in the chat, and so without it making a specific. Without this being too specific to one person, I'm just going to say, if contact the counselor for things like that. But if you didn't get your question answered or you still need to discuss this further, go ahead and reach out to one of us.
Perfect. And thanks for monitoring the chat, because I can't do that and this at the same time. So I appreciate you. And then the last question was whether or not Virtual Academy has or is going to have a PFA or PFC. So it does get a little bit complicated because we are not technically a school, we're a program supporting our school sites. So we don't currently have or are planning on creating a PFA or PFC. If the question around wanting one is in support of Virtual Academy financially, you're welcome to reach out to us, as some parents have already. If the question is around parent communication and establishing like a mechanism for that, also please reach out to us individually so that we can better understand the need sort of that exists behind this question and then help address it. Okay. Dates and times. I should just go back for 1 second about PFA and PFC and say, for all of our school sites, I know this is specifically related to middle school, but it's nice to be able to share. All of our school sites, PFAs and PFCs, have been supporting their students in Virtual Academy. So when a teacher needs something, their school site is able to support them with that need. And I know our middle school sites have been doing that really well and really have been helping Virtual Academy teachers. And this is where the overlap of being a program and not a school can be a little confusing, but is also great because and we've said this before, we don't want to divorce students from their schools or teachers from their schools or families from their schools. And so your school sites in very many small and large ways are still supporting students and still supporting teachers. So our next Coffee and Conversations will be November 2nd at 5 p.m. And 2 things to know about this. One is we're really trying to hit different times of the day to be able to offer this live to different individuals. Of course, if you can't watch or tune in live with us, we always record them and post them to our website and YouTube channel. And the second piece is if you aren't receiving it, we also communicate weekly with parents on Wednesdays, where we send a little video clip. We try and keep it under 10 minutes They're usually around 7, with just things that you need to know, updates, stuff that's going on. And so our hope is through those weekly community updates and through this, that we are able to connect with you in ways that we might not be able to otherwise. So we've received great feedback and are very appreciative of that feedback. And again, if there's something that you want to know and we're not sharing that information, or if you have suggestions, we're always open to being able to do this better to support you and to support our students. So our next Coffee and Conversations will be November 2nd, which I believe is a Monday at 5 p.m. Okay, and then last piece, I'm gonna stop sharing for 1 second. See if I did this right. Oops. You're muted.
Just noticed. Maybe you can share again how to submit questions for these types of things.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. So we sent a link. Everything we send, all parent communication gets sent through Parent Square, which syncs with Aries. So the contact information and the method of notification that you select in Aries syncs with Parent Square, and that's how we push out notifications to families. So if you ever want to adjust or sort of tweak that or add, maybe a family member or spouse that's in your house, whoever it is, you can always do that through Aries. And so we sent through Parent Square yesterday a form. It's the same link for the form every single time. We just sort the questions by dates. So if you ever lose it, you can go back to an old email with that link. And then that's where you can submit any questions for either this or for our Wednesday community updates.
One person wrote that there seems to be a little bit, so Parent Square is really good when we want to push information out to you. And what happens is it doesn't go through our email. And so if you respond to that, sometimes there's a glitch in communication. So that what I would say, excuse me, I need more coffee here. Sorry about this. And so if you have a question for one of us, instead of replying to the Parent Square, send us a new email. I think that would be a much better way of communication. I saw from a couple of you that when you try to reply to that Parent Square or send a message via that, it doesn't go, or you don't receive the message back or the answer back. So just try a new email.
Perfect.
And that's also on our website. So great segue for that.
Yeah. Okay. So this is our Virtual Academy website. I know we're in our middle school session right now. This does serve families TK through 12th grade. So in order to get here, you would go to lvusd.org, click select a school, and then we're second from the bottom, and it will take you to this page. So if you do want to edit your preferences in Parent Square, you would click on this icon or read more, and it would take you to a flyer that tells you step by step exactly how to do that. But the reason we really wanted to show you this was for this attendance forms section. We added it yesterday, and it will live here and not move. So if you click on read more, you are taken to a page with 3 forms embedded: high school, middle school, and elementary school. They're similar forms to each other, but the different levels have some different, like very nuanced differences. So be sure that you're reporting for your student on the appropriate middle school form. You'll click on the form, and then you'll fill out your student's information. So your valid email address, the person completing the form, your relationship to the student, the phone number that matches the Aries records, your student's last and first name, their grade level, the reason that they will be absent or were absent, the dates, the type of absence. If it was for a part of the day or the whole day, you would select the class periods that they missed, and then any additional information. authorizing the absence and acknowledging our district's attendance policies, and then you would type your name and that would function as a signature essentially. This form, which again is right here, is sent to our attendance clerk, and she then processes your attendance. If you then beyond that have questions for her, or need to remedy something, you can email VA attendance@lvusd.org, and we'll go back in and put that email up here. But just to clarify, the attendance form is what you will want to fill out first, and then only use the email if you have questions or need clarification. Try not to use the email in lieu of the attendance form, because what she's finding is she's not getting specific enough information to be able to help families. And then this helps avoid sort of the back and forth. So again, you would report your attendance either in advance if you know a student will be sick, or after the fact, if you know a student will have like an appointment, or after the fact if they're sick. And then she will remedy your attendance or absence this way. All right, that's it for us. I'm going to just sort of go back to our website. As a reminder, if you go to lvusd.org, click select a school, we're second from the bottom. You're welcome to browse this site. And I think, unless you have anything else, Mr. Cashman, that is it for us.
Yeah, let me see. So there's a question about if a certain school does have like a pajama day, does that hold in the VA? So we're going to talk to the principals so that they can share those things with us. But yes, if they have a pajama day at a certain school, say Lindero, yes, show up in your PJs to the VA classes as well. Just let the teachers know, just to make sure. And so that way all the Lindero students can wear their PJs. So that's...
I think that's a great question too. Right now, our schools, as you know, are not having events. But if we get to a place where one of our or all three of our middle schools are having events and you are comfortable sending your students, you are always a part of Las Virgenes and you are always a part of your school site. And so we definitely encourage students to attend those events. We want them to be social, healthy beings. And so if we get to the point where schools are hosting in-person events, please, if you're comfortable, do encourage your students to attend.
Absolutely. And as you can see, we've added the attendance links to the website. We're going to add more information, like the calendar is going to get updated, and different things. So more good stuff to come.
All right. We look forward to connecting with you on our Wednesday messages and then doing this with you again. We probably won't have coffee since it'll be 5 p.m., but happy to engage with you. Again, feel free to send questions in anytime between now and our next event so that we can be sure to address all of your questions and needs. And we will see you soon.
Cool.
Bye.